Hey, you got time for a beer? My name's Jake. This is my show. If you're looking for me, you probably found me on YouTube, maybe on Untapped, maybe on Instagram. Getting more people that like me. It's kind of awesome. I like it a lot. I'm almost up to 100 followers, which it's amazing for me. It's not Thursday, but I've got another one of these. I'm recording it on a Friday, so it'll be out by Saturday morning, afternoonish, probably. Yeah. You can find me at @tubajake_69 in case you're looking. Untapped, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, those ones. Beer I got for you today is actually one that I don't think I've checked in before. It says Lebkuchen Christmas Ale from Atwater Brewery. It's all backwards, you'll notice, because my watch isn't working right, so I'm using the front-facing camera on my phone instead of the good camera. But hopefully this works out okay. It'll probably just be this one, and then I'll update my watch, and then it should work, so I can use the good camera instead of this one, which probably isn't that bad. I mean, it's an iPhone 12, so shouldn't be terrible. Let's see what else about this one. Says on here, Atwater Brewery, born in Detroit, raised everywhere. It's a flavored ale, part of every holiday tradition. 12 fluid ounces, 355 milliliters. That's the same thing, kind of. 6.1% alcohol by volume, 28 IBUs. 128 would be a lot of IBUs. What else does it say? That's weird. I'm glad it's not red on green, because, like, I didn't see this part right here at first, because I couldn't see it. It's the same color. We meet again. To smuggle in a good day. Yep. Courtesy of this great brew. To cool down your calloused hands and refresh your hard-working soul. Prost to all you've done and all you've yet to do. Anytime you need to raise one for all, the challenges you've risen to, crack a can and meet us at Atwater. Actually, I think it just says, and meet us at Water. It's the Atwater Brewery, Detroit, Michigan. That's what that says. Government warnings, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so it should be good. I don't know if you guys know what a Lebkuchen is, but I had to look it up because I didn't know for sure. It is a cookie, kind of like gingerbread, very German, which should make for good beer. So honey sweetened cookie, so there should be a lot of honey. It should be dark, like it is. I like dark beers. They're good. What else? If you notice, I am pouring this into a ice bar mug. Got that today. Went there with a friend. It was a good time. Usually have lots and lots of fun when we're there. So, yeah, it's a thing to do if you're ever in Lansing. It's actually at a grocery store. Really nice beer selection. There's a bar in it. There's a coffee bar in it. There's a sushi bar in this grocery store. They make all kinds of different popcorn there. It's kind of like a farmer's market, but like a grocery store. It's kind of neat. So it does kind of taste honey sweetened, which is nice. I like that. It's a good thing. Malt forward. 28 IBUs really isn't that high. So it makes sense. It's bitter, but not that bitter. It's, the right amount of bitter for a beer, especially one that is supposed to taste like gingerbread cookies. I'm not getting ginger, but mostly that doesn't matter. It's like a cookie cake kind of thing. It's kind of piney, like juniper piney, not like super piney. So it's like berry pine flavor, if that makes any sense. I mean, I suppose if you like gin, then you'd have a decent idea of what juniper tastes like. But yeah, there's definitely that flavor in it, which is good actually. I like this beer. 6.1%. I could probably drink 3 or 4 of these real easy in an evening. It'd be good. Make for a nice mellow night after 4 of them. What does this remind me of? This reminds me of a couple of the beers that I've made. I used a lot of honey in those, so I guess that'd make sense. But it shouldn't really, because I didn't use... Well, I guess I did use darker malts. They do end up looking that color when they're darker malts. Trying to think of other things. I mean, it really does remind me a lot of other Christmas ales. Like you've got the Bell's Christmas Ale. I think the only reason that I think Bell's Christmas Ale tastes like Christmas trees is because it's got that big Christmas tree on the front. Which it would make sense, right? That you'd make it, you might think it tastes like a Christmas tree because there's a big pine tree on the front. Sorry, I'm getting texts. Like I said, or did I say, my watch isn't working, which is usually what I turn this on and off with, which is why your front-facing camera and everything is backwards. I don't know if you can tell that or not. Let's see, what else we got? A story that this reminds me of. This kind of reminds me of one summer before my brother-in-law is my brother-in-law. He and my sister came up from Louisiana, and we went to the UP for a winter break kind of thing. Went to a couple of different places, stayed at my cousin's in St. Ignace, which sounds funny, but my cousin owned a hotel. I say owned because he did own, and now he has sold it and has said that he's retired. I'm not sure where that means he's moving to. Maybe just into his house, because he actually had a house in St. Ignace or near St. Ignace. Lots of room for his dogs to run, which usually turns out okay, but it didn't one time. But yeah, so we stayed at the Voyager Inn in St. Ignace, and did some St. Ignace, Mackinac City things, and then went up into the Great North. Went up to the Tequamanon Falls, and that's actually what this reminds me of mostly. There is a brewery up there, had some beers, nice little place. It was obviously before I started doing this, otherwise I would have those. Actually, it's before I even started doing Untapped, so I don't have those beers marked anywhere. Just, it's a thing that I remember. I mean, there are a lot of beers that I could have put on there from when I was in college that I didn't, because I didn't do any of this. But yeah, so this kind of reminds me of trudging through the woods to get to see something super wintry in Michigan, which, being as Atwater is in Detroit, kind of makes sense. It should be like trudging through the woods in Michigan in December. You get that sweet taste of wherever you get to. Christmas cookies still in your mouth. And then a nice beer at the end of your walk. Makes it great. It really does. That might have been the same year that we took him to go get a Christmas tree. You know, California kid. He did spend some time in Washington, so he had seen snow before. And then went down to Louisiana from Washington after he got his his diving certification, deep water diver, not welder, just a diver. He tended to the other divers and did a little bit of diving himself. Tended to was the on deck tender for the welders sometimes. So, you know, he was all bundled up when we went to go get the Christmas tree. I mean, we just went to a Christmas tree farm, so it wasn't like we were going to cut anything down. I think I had on a stocking cap and like a fleece. I wasn't wearing shorts. Had jeans on. But, you know, boots, and it was 20, sunny. So not terrible at all. But, you know, he had his hat and his gloves and big boots and a big coat with the hood pulled up because he's cold. It's only 20 degrees out. Did you know? I was like, did you know it gets colder? It gets colder. Like when I was brewing beer, and kind of the same deal, but it wasn't freezing yet. But, you know, out and I was brewing, so I was standing right over this big kettle, brewing beer. It was warm there. Got the fire going underneath. You just got to stay close to the kettle. Then you come in and you're all sticky and hands are super moist because steam and stirring and all that stuff. But you're warm, even though it's at or below freezing. Yeah, this beer reminds me of that. All right, that's all of that. I've got a quote for you. This one is from Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He said, "Enduring peace cannot be bought at the cost of other people's freedom." So if there's going to be if you're going to have peace that lasts, people need to be free to make their own choices. If they want to be dumb, I suppose they can be dumb. Might mean that they die. Hopefully not. Or it means that peace isn't attainable at all. I'm not sure what that means. I thought it sounded good when I read it, so you got it. Yeah, so don't forget, you can tell me your stories down in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Love to hear from you. Tell me your stories. Maybe I will tell everybody else your stories. I got one from a friend from college. She was like, "Hey, I work at a brewery," and I said, "You know what? That'd be really cool. I'd like to try to make it out there sometime." She lives in Missouri. It'd be really fun to go out and see her and Mike. Mike was my roommate in college. It'd be really fun to go and see them. I haven't seen Mike and Rachel in a long, long time. Probably coming up pretty close to 20 years. Real easy, yeah. If not more than that, even. Yeah, so you can find me, tubajake_69, Untapped, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Look me up next time when you got time for a beer.